Thank you very much. Thank you, my dear brother, Fuad, the Foreign Minister of Iraq. In fact, I have had this morning some meetings with the Iraqi leadership, with the President, the Prime Minister, and the Speaker of the Parliament. And I also had meetings and discussions with my brother, the Foreign Minister of Iraq, and the Foreign Minister of Iran. And these were very important talks and discussions that were revolving all about the most recent developments in Syria, which is resulting from the continuity of the terrorist attack that started on the 27th of November. The HTS, the Nusra Front, which is listed as a terrorist entity by the Security Council, in addition to other terrorist organizations attacking Aleppo, Idlib, and Hama, and now Homs. So their attacks were totally condemned and totally criticized. I have explained to all those I met with the field developments and the security threats, as well as the humanitarian situation, especially as this terrorist attack has led to a huge wave of displacement of people and residents of these areas. I have also highlighted the efforts made by the government, the Syrian government's institutions, to secure the humanitarian needs of the people and to continue providing the basic services in the areas that became out of control. And I have emphasized that the Arab-Syrian armed forces and Arab-Syrian army are doing their national duty to confront this terrorist attack, because it was forced to introduce certain operations that balance the tactics of the battle and to reposition themselves. We have emphasized the continuity of the army to continue its duty against anybody who would dare to think of jeopardizing the peace and stability of Syrians. I have emphasized also that the entities behind this terrorist attack are violating clearly the resolutions of the United Nations and Security Council relevant to combating terrorism, and also the agreements that has been approved in the context of the Asitana process. We have emphasized that this grave terrorist threat is not only a threat to the peace and security of Syria, but also a threat to the peace and security of all the countries of the region. I have presented clearly all the elements of the regional intervention and international intervention happening in all the elements of what is happening now in Syria. And this has happened also before in Syria. And I have emphasized that these interventions are now very well known and very much overt and serving certain historic ambitions to redraw the map of the region and to rebuild its political system according to aggressive, anemic agendas for these entities. In this context, I have emphasized the importance of mobilizing all efforts, all Arab and regional efforts, as well as international efforts, to support the efforts of the Syrian state to confront terrorism and to combat terrorism and combat all forms of terrorism, as well as to condemn the terrorist attacks made by HTS. I also emphasized supporting the efforts for preserving the security and safety of the Syrian state and the Syrian people. In fact, there has been great solidarity and great support to the Syrian government and to the sovereignty of Syria and the integrity of the Syrian territories in combating terrorism. And there has been an emphasis on the importance of not accepting the double standards in dealing with terrorism and the importance of confronting terrorism without any kind of discrimination between one terrorism and another. Once again, I wish to thank you, my brothers Fuad and the minister, for hosting this meeting, which is a very important one for me and for my brother Abbas.